Please call the woman and tell her that I. Hi guys, so today we talked about the last step in your story writing process, and that is to publish your paper. All right, we discussed the checklist that you should use when you are finished, when you have finished your pre-write, where you choose your topic, when you have completed your story map, where you write down your ideas, when you complete your draft, where you turn your ideas into paragraphs, when you revise, where you check to see if you can make better sentences, add details, remove unnecessary information, where you proofread, where you check for all of your mistakes, and where you then publish your paper. Once you have found all of your mistakes and corrected them, you write a copy without any mistakes and you publish your paper. This is the copy that you give to your teacher. All right, so a couple of pieces of advice about proofreading before we start to talk about publish. When you proofread, as you proofread your paper, the first time you read it, check for one thing. Maybe you check to see if you started all sentences with capital letters. The second time you read it, check to see if you put an end mark for every sentence. The third time you read it, you can check for sentence structure. Does your noun and verb agree in your sentences? The fourth time you read it, you can check for spelling. You can check in any order you like. One piece of advice to give you when you are checking for spelling, do not read from from left to right, but read from right to left like you would in Arabic. And instead of starting at the top of your paper, start at the bottom of your paper and work your way up. This way you stop and you look at every word to check the spelling. If you do it the opposite way, you start to read the sentences, which takes your attention away from what you're actually doing. So if you do it in a backwards motion from the bottom to the top and from right to left, then you focus more on the words and you're more likely to find any spelling mistakes in your paper. All right, let's look at the self-checklist. Did you consider the purpose? Is your story written to entertain your reader? Did you think about your audience? Remember, your audience for your paper will be me and your classmates. All right, will your audience find the story entertaining? Did you make an exciting beginning, middle, and end for your story? Did you give enough details about your characters? Have you described an interesting setting? Did you give us enough details to imagine what your setting is like? Did you use dialogue words? When the characters are speaking to each other, did you use different words? Not everything said. Remember, we use gasped, exclaimed, yelled, shouted. You can use different words instead of using said every time you have a character speak. Did you write the dialogue correctly? Are your quotation marks in the right place? Is the punctuation inside the quotation? Did you put a comma before the quote if the speaker is at the beginning, or a comma after the quote if the speaker comes at the end? Did you check to make sure that your sentences flow smoothly? Do they make sense? Are they easy to read? Did you combine short sentences together when necessary? When you were able to put short sentences together to make it smoother in reading, then you should do that. We can always combine two short sentences into compound sentences. Did you proofread and correct all of your errors? Use this list to help you check to make sure that you are ready to publish your paper and turn it into your teacher. Okay, now we've been following along the story that the little girl has written about her and her mom when the man fell in the ice and they helped to save him. This is her final paper, Team to the Rescue. She has completed all of the steps of writing. She has corrected all of her mistakes. Now that she has corrected all of her mistakes, she has typed her paper without any mistakes, so it is ready to be turned in to the teacher. Okay? All right. That's it, just a quick, brief run over of what publishing is about. I'm going to make a list of steps of story writing to post for you so that you'll have steps to follow when you write your story, okay? Bye-bye.